Yo, 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 what is going on, Eagles Nation? This is AK Eagles, and this is the Eagles Uncensored podcast. How you doing today? Just wanted to come on tonight and do a live call-in for everyone. Appreciate everyone for stopping in. What's up, Big Play? What's up, Jordy? How you all doing? Yeah, so, you know, let's get this thing on the way, dude. I'm ready to talk some Eagles. Yo, what's good, Mitch? How you doing, dude?
You wanted me here? You got me here.
What's good, man?
Yo, I just got a dub as soon as we got off. As soon as you left, I got a dub.
Yo, what's good, Slay?
What's up, y'all?
Now, how's your internet tonight? Is your internet gonna lag again?
I guess we're gonna find out, bro.
The mic is already starting off bad, but it's okay for right now.
Is it?
Like, you know how it gets like laggy-ish here and there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like right now.
Okay. Yo, what's good, Philly girl? Thank you for coming in.
The camera lighting is good though. I like it.
Thank you.
I
don't even try that, man. I just get the illumination from the light in the background, which is pretty sweet. So.
Yeah. I have to be in the basement. My dad's sleeping and gotta get up early for work. So I'm in the basement right now.
Yeah, I'm upstairs in the kitchen, man. Kids are sleeping, so.
Yeah.
My friend MG is supposed to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so
he said,
you know, let's start it off by you know, talking about these head coaches and stuff, man. Like, what do you guys see from them? What do you expect from them? You know.
Are you just talking about Sirianni, or just like? Are you just talking about the
Eagles?
Any
in general that you can think of, you know? Who are you excited for? You know, what position coaches?
Honestly, I'm more excited about the Dallas Mavericks' new head coach, but with the I just want Nick Sirianni to just like pull to hit his what is that word I'm thinking of? Potential? No, his peak.
What's up, guys? What's up?
I guess.
Yeah,
so,
what's up, Bobby?
Yeah, what's up, dude? So I just want Nick Sirianni just to do better than Doug Peterson last year. It's not going to be that hard, but with the offense, and we still have questions for the defense, but I feel like with the offense, we're gonna have some. I feel like we're gonna do some rush, no huddle, and oh my god,
look at this egghead.
Oh my god, dude! Don't let me punch the webcam. Oh my god, Tyler, you gotta get in here right now because I had just had a great idea. I was gonna call you. Get in here right now. It involves you and Eagles Uncensored. Get in here right now. So no, you guys, no. You guys will like this. You guys will like this. You're not a nerd.
What's up, Nightings? Thanks for showing up.
I subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you, Bobby.
So, but
no problem. This is my first time on your channel.
Yeah, I know, man. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome, man. No problem.
All right, so I just gotta say, Tyler, get your ass in here now, please. Yeah, but to go back with the offense, but Nick Sirianni, I feel like he's gonna run like a lot of no huddle. I feel like it's going to be a lot of rush with the young guys and speed. So I feel like that's what what I'm going to think of Nick Sirianni. And then during the plays or during end of first quarter, second quarter, etc., he's going to challenge them to rock, paper, scissors. But that's what I think. Oh my god!
Uncensored. Get it?
I'm allowed to say whatever.
Can't wait for the season.
Yeah. See you night.
Alright, Nightings for sure, man. I will definitely do that. I'm totally down. I will get with you for sure.
He's not gonna come in, is he?
No. No, I actually told him earlier today about this, and he said that he was not going to be able to make it because
Yeah, I know.
he has to work.
I know,
He has to
but
sleep
he'll listen
like
to
a
me.
mature
He'll listen.
adult.
Tyler will listen to me. Trust me. If he does not
Dude,
come
I
in,
only
he
got
has
one
no
more
balls.
spot,
I'm
man.
just saying
So
that
you
right
gotta
there.
get in here, Tyler.
Come on
I
now.
can only have 6
No.
people.
My friend MG has to get in here too. We gotta
Right.
get him in here.
All right.
Well, we only have 6 spots.
Tyler's not going to stay that long anyway, I don't think, even if he would come in. So.
Oh my god, MG streaming.
Bye, Slay again.
Yo, Slay, you need to work on your internet connection, my guy.
And Slay's back.
Why does it always happen to me only? But I was gonna say MG streaming, so he needs to end it quickly. So he
No, I told MG, I stopped in earlier and said what's up, and I told him that I'd save him a spot and get him on.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so we should start the countdown for whenever Big Play Slay goes out because the internet again and then come back. Because I might just start that.
Your
It's
internet is so terrible.
it's I don't think it's the internet. The internet is perfectly fine. It's just this computer is annoying.
Use your phone.
Oh, then the connection is on my phone. The camera lag, yeah, it's gonna lag crazy.
Heck.
I got you. So Bobby, tell me, man. Tell me about my question. How you feel about this coaching staff? Is there any coaching staff that you see that you like? Any certain position? What's up?
Yo, I can barely hear you, bro.
Bobby, are you there?
I can definitely hear. I can definitely hear Slay on that.
Jordy, you need to turn your mic up, man.
Huh?
There you go.
Yeah, I can hear you better.
What are you watching? I hear something
Who's
in the
talking?
background.
Who?
Oh my god.
No, okay, Bobby. How do you feel about our offensive line, bud? Or not our offensive line, but our coaches? You know, what specific?
I feel
Is
good
there a
about it.
specific? Okay.
I'm just worried about our defense. I feel like we have to get better at our defense. Our wide receiver core. I want to see Quez Watkins score more, get more touchdowns, because you only made 1 touchdown this year. So I want to
I
see
don't think he's gonna get a spot, but maybe he'll get 6. But
I want to see Hightower and Quez do more improvement than last year. I want to see more improvement by Quez and Hightower.
Yeah, for sure. No.
because
And
I'm
I've been seeing, Quez has been putting in that work this offseason. So hopefully that translates. Yo, Jordy, what's good, my guy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm not too shabby, dude. So how you feeling about this coaching staff? Any particular position you're looking at that excites you, coaching wise?
I'm very excited with our linebacker coach Nick Rallis and what he said during his presser, because he said he was going to he was open to learn and listen to players, but he was also going to kind of coach, and I think that's not something you see very often in the NFL. And not only that, with this young coaching staff in general, you're going to see a lot of creativity, a lot of energy, and a lot of positivity. So this is going to be an interesting season.
Yep, MG should be here in a second.
Howdy, you nerds.
wow.
Come on, bro. This man is.
See, I originally was set to
Hey, Bobby, I'm gonna
man
bring you
with
back in, all right,
balls,
buddy?
since Mitchell decided to say if I didn't join, I didn't have balls, but apparently y'all didn't want to let me in with that name. So,
Yeah,
the repair so he doesn't get fined, we'll have to do.
but,
Oh, what's good, MG?
Hey,
How
hey,
you
hey.
doing, my guy?
yeah,
Oh
but-
my
What's up?
god. So
How's
I got my
everyone doing
idea for you and Eagles Uncensored. Okay,
Oh, shit.
Tyler. It's about MLB the show, right?
Oh, no.
No,
Oh,
I'm just
dude,
saying-
you told him? Are you fucking dumb?
It was in the
Oh.
thread.
I saw it on Twitter.
What do you mean I told him? It was in the thread. It's
I
public.
never. Oh well, I guess.
It was
I
on
guess
Twitter. He
I
didn't
guess
tell me
that's true.
shit.
No, I was talking about the DM part.
Oh, no.
I thought
No, I
you
didn't
told
tell
me
him any
about that.
details about it.
so
Okay.
what
Yeah.
was your question, AK? What was your question again?
All right, I'll tell my idea later, I guess.
No, go ahead. Let him finish. What
All
was the big idea?
So you guys are doing MLB the show, right? You guys should hype that up like big and make it like a big not a pay-per-view, but a big live stream.
Yes,
thing.
2 small-time Philly content creators will make a pay-per-view event that will sell out like crazy. Sell faster than hotcakes.
Hey, but you're not showing your highlights, but I'm just saying that right there. But
Losers
alright.
24 hours in a
Okay.
Waffle House.
Alright, yo,
but seriously, you guys should make this like a live stream, right? And just hype it up by making videos and whatnot.
Alright, listen, I might agree to that. Just let me get some practicing first. I haven't played in a long
Hey,
time.
I'll even help you practice. I'm a good friend like that.
Alright, that's awesome.
don't help me with
one-on-one for a little
What the?
bit.
It's not fun if it's not a challenge.
Oh,
Hey, I agree 100%, dude. I would rather have a challenge than go in and smack somebody. So
There you go.
I 100% agree.
him and I killed it. We killed it on Fortnite today. That was fun.
Yeah,
No,
we're gonna do more of that, man.
I honestly
sure.
didn't even know AK played Fortnite.
I didn't know either. He
Dude,
DM'd
I am
me and was
so-
like, "Yo,
I am
I'm
so
Fortnite." I'm like,
rusty.
I'm down.
I am so rusty right now. Like it showed so bad
You better
today.
Tyler.
Alright, I'm gonna head out, fellas. I be tired.
Yo,
All right,
yo,
buddy.
take it easy,
You
man.
have
I'll
a good
text
one.
you. I'll call
Yeah.
you tomorrow.
Later.
Later, bud.
See you, Tyler.
Thank you for stopping in.
I didn't even know Fortnite was still a thing, man. I haven't played in like 2 years.
Me too, MG.
I know, man. Like I
play it
stopped
every
playing
day.
because I turned my daughter onto it, and she never gave me my Xbox back. So I haven't played in I haven't played in so long. It's probably been like 6 months, and he brought it up the other day, and I was like, yeah, you know, I said I play. I said I'll get on and play with you. And it was starting to come back, but you know,
hmm
But I
Big
saw
time.
I originally saw Mitch streaming Fortnite streams like 2 months ago, and I started watching. I hardly ever watch a Fortnite stream, so that tells you a lot.
Yeah, but it was fun to play with Eagles on Sen. I'm like, dude, it was really fun. Some people I play with, they don't have any IQ whatsoever. Like, they will go up with the sniper and just stay in the middle of the thing. And I'm like, can you move, please? And they go, no. And he gets sniped in the head. And I'm like, perfect.
nah, dude, I told you I have over 1,000 wins for a reason. I mean,
Yeesh.
I got close to like 500.
Okay,
hey, all my wins are on squads though. 'Cause,
Oh,
you know, I play with family. No, I play with a lot of family members. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
you don't play any solos?
not real solos though.
Oh no, I have wins in solos, just not that many. Like
How
I do in
many?
squads.
How
I
many
don't-
exactly? How many exactly?
I don't play solos that much. I don't know, 200 something.
Oh, that's not bad though. That's not like
No, I don't play
Still
that
more
much
than me.
though, in solos.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I miss the beginning though, man. When we all used to box up in a 1-by-1, you know, and everybody just stayed at their own. You know, it seemed a lot more competitive and a lot better, but you know, they just changed the game too much for me as I started playing. You know, and then when they got rid of the pump shotgun, that really pissed me off. 'Cause I
yeah,
was
you
like,
can't get rid of
that
that,
was like-
man. You can't.
Yeah, and then they got rid of snipers altogether. I was like, you guys can't do
I was
that.
so
Like,
mad.
come on,
There's
man.
a lot of things that they got rid of that made me.
And then the snipers are back, tucked, and I'm good. I'm fine.
Like you just can't get rid of the original guns in the game. Like the pump
You
shotgun, that's a
Yeah.
classic gun in the game. That's
Yeah.
and they nerf double pump, which was not.
Oh man, I know.
I didn't
know.
really like that much. I
Double
wasn't a
pump
big
was
fan of
fun.
it. It was,
Dude,
but it was like for a short
it
time for me.
was.
And I was
But
like,
dude, if you could master it, it pissed so many people off. But no, and then building was even fun. But dude, these guys take it to an art form. Like,
bro. I used to be a sweat in like 2 years ago, bro. I used to play that game every day, and I sucked.
I got really good at it, dude, and I could do it. But I'll tell you what, man, you got to practice every day to stay on top. And I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, that's
Like-
exactly how I feel about that game. AK, I'm like, I don't want to play every single day. I want to play here and there, but not literally every single day.
Once I got more into content creating too, it's just like, man, I got better things to do.
Exactly.
MG's to go.
Man, I got football and basketball to tell. I'm not about to play for 12 hours a day anymore.
Right. Well, speaking of that, man, I want to get your views, MG. How you feel about this coaching staff, man? And you got a favorite? You know, like how you feeling about him?
I'm a Jonathan Gannon guy. I like what he brings to this team. I like some of the signings that we did. Anthony Harris was a very, very great signing. Eric Wilson was another signing that I thought was very key for our defense. I'm big on Jonathan Gannon this year, man. I think he can change the perspective of the Eagles defense. The sticks defense, always getting burnt over the top. That's not happening anymore. I think you got safety help with Anthony Harris. Now Rodney McLeod, he can't stay healthy to save his life, but I just think we need to get another guy for big play Slay, man. The actual big play Slay.
Bro, I'm actually the real big place. I don't know.
Well, we need to get you some help, buddy. I just think Steven Nelson would be nice.
Gary and Conley.
Yeah, Steven Nelson's probably the top of my board, but I just love what Jonathan Gannon brings. Sirianni, I want to see what he does with the running game. That was a big problem when our offense last year was not consistently running the ball like how I felt we should have with Miles Sanders. So I want to see if Sirianni implements the run game. Also, as well, are we going to force Devontae Smith to be our Lord and Savior week 1, or are we going to ease him in week by week, give him, more targets as we get into the season? That's going to be interesting to see. And I think the connection between Smith and Hurts, being that they were in the same locker room together a few years back, that might be an easier connection between them. So we'll see what happens. But as far as the coaching staff, I love Jonathan Gannon. That's my favorite guy on the coaching staff right now.
I feel you.
All right, now speaking of Steven Nelson, I want to get your guys' reaction to this being petty all of a sudden about money when we haven't before. I do have some videos coming out, about Ertz and Steven Nelson. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it because I don't want to overreact, but I'll give you my thoughts here in a little bit. But we'll go with you, Mitch, first. But how do you feel about this?
Mitch.
What?
Mitch.
What?
AK asked you a question.
Oh yeah, about the cap. You know my position.
No.
What?
Well, about Steven Nelson.
Steven
how
Nelson,
do you
you know
feel
my
about-
position on Steven
My
Nelson as well.
man's Mitch is in another world right now.
Hey,
No,
hey.
I
was
was
just watching
no, I
YouTube.
was saying, how do you feel about them not wanting to, or about them being petty now about cash and not wanting to pay Steven Nelson?
It's just they're what is the word? Stubborn. They're stubborn and they don't have the money. It's easy as that.
I like that.
It's like I was talking about this last night with my guy Alkabir, the analyst, and it's just like we're just going down deeper and deeper in the cap each time, and I'm like, sure, we're gonna get 40 or 50 mil next year. Now we're like, I don't know. And I made this video today about like possibly the real big play Slay recruiting Richard Sherman, and I said, why would they do that for an older guy, right?
Yeah.
And for a guy who will want more money and not even the veteran minimum. So if you can't even afford, like, how old is Richard Sherman again? 30,
Like
30,
32?
31 or 30.
31. I was about to say 31.
Something
So
like
I'm
that.
like, and it's actually sad to say he's better than most of our cornerback twos.
Yes.
To begin
Yes.
with. That's sad.
He's
No.
definitely better. He's definitely better than Michael Jaquette. That's for sure.
Oh, 100% better than Michael Jaquette, man.
It's not even a
Well,
question.
and you know, I made the point. I think it was yesterday, or else it was. Yeah, it was yesterday on Foothills channel. When he had that call on. I told him. I said, I said, I just don't understand why now, out of all times, is when you want to make your stand. Like,
Mm.
for instance, we all sit here and say, how dumb Howie was for paying all these guys for what they did and not what they were going to be. And now you want to listen to us? Like, at this point in time, like, let's not argue right now. Do what you got to do. Get us that CB2, and let's compete. But now you want to make a stand on the money? Like, now of all times? Really?
Yeah.
No, like, just let's do it. At this point, we need it. So you got to do it.
Yeah. That.
But Jordy, oh yeah, go ahead, MD.
Well, I was gonna add to that point, like, I just don't think right now to be stingy or stubborn about money. I don't think this is the right time, man. If we need a cornerback to address the needs, I thought that's what we did really good in the draft. We addressed our needs, but also when we draft guys, it's not taking much. All of them are going to be on a rookie contract, but now when we need to get a guy who we got to actually pay, we want to get all hesitant, and I just don't like that, man. I don't want to get hesitant, man. If you're gonna get a guy and address your need, get him and address your need. Don't get stubborn. Don't get hesitant. Just go get him. Just go get him. And if
Right.
you know it's going to help your team this year, if it's going to help your team, you got to do it, man. You got to do it.
Well, and it doesn't just help our team now; it also helps it in the future. Because who knows if this is Darius Slay's last year, or even possibly next year. Excuse me. You still need somebody that's going to be able to step up in his role when he leaves. And Nelson only being 27, he's able to do that. So it's not just an investment now, but it's also an investment for the future.
Yeah. So I think if you might as well just stop being stubborn, because Steven Nelson I think he wants to be here, because Darius Slay and Steven Nelson would make a dynamite cornerback duo, and why not have that? So why be stubborn and stingy right now when you can just get a corner and not worry about it in the future? But I want what's called Garyon Conley from the Texans. I think if Gannon develops him, which he's done with a lot of younger corners, and what's called last year, Xavier Rhodes, when he got to the Colts, he was a bad corner. People proclaimed him as a bad corner. Why not get a guy like Garyon Conley, who hasn't done really good the past couple of seasons? He was considered to be a good corner, and he didn't pan out in the NFL. Why get him to the Eagles? Get him on the Eagles, and then develop him for a long time, and then maybe he can be a future CB2 or CB1 when Darius Slay's gone.
How do you guys
Well, and
feel
also too,
about
man, you
Maddox?
got to look at if we somehow keep screwing off and lose Nelson, I would not be surprised to see Poole as our CB2, considering that isn't our DB coach from the Jets. So
I honestly,
that would probably be our second target.
yeah, for me, I would love to have Brian Poole, but it would kind of piss me off because Tyler would be right, and he would just not. He would just keep on rubbing that in my face. But so I really want the Eagles to get Steven Nelson, so I could just be like, who's right here? Who's right? But he made up a good point though about Brian Poole. He told me that the Eagles are doing zone, and Brian Poole's more of a man coverage guy. So it's like, do you want to take a guy who has the same numbers as Steven Nelson but cheap and does a different play scheme, or would you want to take the guy, just give him the $5 million or $8 million or whatever, and so he can play in the right system because he does everything right. And there was something else I was going to say, but I don't know. And I'll take him over Avonte Maddox any day.
Oh,
And
honestly,
100,
Okay.
100%, bro.
So who?
100%.
So real quick, we'll get Jordy's answer here, and then I also want to know then too. We'll go around again. Who's your guys' dark horse for corner? Like if you had to choose one. So think of that while you're at it too.
Oh,
Go
like
ahead, Jordan.
who we could sign, or is it like
No, like who's already on our team who could win it?
oh,
okay.
oh,
I
okay.
like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
MG, don't steal my answer though,
Hey, don't steal my answer, buddy.
because I feel
I
like
got one, but I don't know if
Alright.
you guys are gonna like this one. But
Oh well,
Let's
Jordy,
get
how you
So-
feeling, that dude?
We have what, 2 to 4 million in cap space, somewhere in that area.
yeah,
Roughly,
So-
yeah.
Somebody brought this up, and this really got me thinking. What if teams have reached out, and Philly being one of them, to Nelson, and he's turned down a smaller deal? That's something that's really been on my mind, and now, and it's kind of had me thinking, well, what's going to be alternatives? Because I think if Philly wanted him, we probably would have had him by now, unless we're looking to move somebody. And the only person I can see us moving at this current moment is Ertz.
Ertz.
So,
don't get me started on that.
I mean, I'd
Now-
love to move somebody like Barnett, but that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get into that. But I think at this point, we've also got to think of, well, what are some smaller names that would take smaller deals that may improve this cornerback room, even if it's just slight. Because looking at our cornerback room, you put a lot of these guys in other teams, what are they? Camp bodies or fringe roster makes. So at this point, it's either stick with what you have and hope coaching can develop, or move somebody and get Nelson, or you can go for a smaller guy or somebody who's taking a smaller contract.
Mhm.
Okay, now with your point, what if we're waiting to move Zach Ertz and then clear up some spaces, then sign Steven Nelson? That could also be a possibility.
Yeah, but you also have to remember too. We still have to sign Dickerson as well.
Yeah, that is true. We didn't sign Lennon.
And I mean, I believe for a second rounder, what is that? 1.5, 2 mil.
Something like that, yeah.
I
Mhm.
think I have a good
Um,
feeling. I think I have a good feeling where Ertz is going.
Let me guess. You said it in my chat earlier.
I've said it. I've said it in every single chat.
Every chat, yeah.
Yeah, but you got me. Yeah, but you got me pretty good today.
The Bengals. The Bengals.
The
Oh, no, because you said Titans in the thing.
Oh, yeah. I said, oh my. I pranked Mitch and I said, oh my God, Zach Ertz got traded to the Titans, and he actually.
Well, when someone gets traded on the Eagles, of course I'll be like, "Oh wow, they actually made a move." Is it stupid? Probably.
Yeah, but I think Ertz.
Okay, like I get your understanding to the Bengals, but what are they giving up, or what are you getting from them?
Oh, probably TJ Ozuma because he's injury prone, but why not get him on the Eagles? You want two tight end sets for the long run, for the long haul, and a guy like TJ Ozuma with that type of talent, you can get him on the Eagles, especially if Zach Ertz is in this mix. But I don't see a player getting swapped, especially for a guy like Zach Ertz. His values dropping as the day goes. I don't think they'll get a guy like TJ Ozuma, but if they did, I think the Eagles would take that risk because Ozuma has talent, and if you bring him on the Eagles, you only have to be hoping you'd only have to be banking that he doesn't get injured a lot. But if we did get him, I would be excited.
Now, I don't like that because I love what Richard Rodgers brought us last year. And him joining back the Eagles, I think he's going to make the roster at tight end 2 behind Dallas Goedert. I don't want CJ Ozuma on our team. If we were to trade him to Cincy, when I'm looking at their roster, we're not going to get much out of him. We might as well just take a 4th or 5th round pick for Zach Ertz. It's not a guy who I want for their roster, so let's just take a 4th or 5th and let's just move on. Because at this point in Zach Ertz's career, considering the season he had last year, also being a little bit banged up last year, we're not going to get what we could have gotten out of him last offseason when he was coming off of a decent year.
See, that's why I think the Eagles are trying to trade him during training camp, because I feel like they know they know that the Bengals don't have an indoor facility, and that increases injury. And they also have an injury-prone tight end. I feel like the Eagles will get high value out of this. So instead of just having to get like a fifth or a sixth, which they don't want, I feel like a team like the Bengals will try to get desperate because if you look at their tight end depth chart, it's not very good. Why not get a guy like Zach Ertz who can be a security blanket for Joe Burrow? It makes sense.
Yeah, Jack, I see you in the chat down there. You know what I would take for Zach Ertz. I think everyone knows that at this point. But,
A bag of Doritos and donuts or something like that.
And Fortnite V-Bucks, which I'm playing right now.
I
But,
take a Philly cheesesteak.
hey!
Hey, I mean, that I would not be mad at.
Yeah, but to go back to the question about the cornerbacks, right?
A year's supply.
Oh my
Yeah, I'll
god!
take that
Don't
too.
even get me. Yeah,
I'll take that.
but for the cornerbacks, I got like a dark horse, like a very, very dark horse, and you guys are gonna laugh. Nate Meters. I've been studying his tape like non-stop.
Who the heck is that guy?
Exactly my
No,
point.
Meters.
Exactly my point. He was
Yeah,
the guy who
no,
got from
Meters is
Jacksonville.
good. That's a good choice.
There we go. Okay,
right.
finally.
I forgot he was on our team, bro. I really did.
That's why I said it, because not a lot of people are just like not paying attention because he was a practice squad guy. But I'm just saying our cornerback competition right now is up in the air, and don't even think about Zach McPherson. Don't forget about him.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I look at the depth chart, he's like second in the CB2. So I'm just saying, and I love McPherson a lot. That was a very good pick, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got a sleeper. I got a big sleeper.
I'm gonna go after him. Yeah.
He had a really not last year, but the year before that, he gave us a lot of energy in the cornerback room in 2019, and that's Crayvon LeBlanc, man. I really love this guy. I love his energy since he joined the Eagles a few years ago, and he's been hurt by injuries, unfortunately, but he's a really high energy, gritty slot cornerback, and I think he can have a decent year with us as long as he stays healthy and keeps the intensity and plays with that grit and grind that he's always played with. And he's not the fastest guy, but you can't sleep on his
No,
speed.
don't shoot him. Let me take him down. Don't shoot him.
Damn. What was his name?
You idiot.
Nah,
I hate playing with randoms.
my guy's Crayvon LeBlanc though, man. I really like that guy, man.
Yeah, that's a good pick. For me, I think I would have to say this is a big dark horse. Graylin Arnold. Many Graylin
Arnold.
Yeah, people know him. He went to I think he went to Oregon or Baylor, one of those.
Graylin Arnold.
Yeah, Baylor, I think he went. Yeah, but last year he played a couple games for us. He gave us some energy. I think he could, if he can be developed right. I think he could be a decent corner, and he can make an impact this year if cornerback 2 is that bad. He can make an impact, and he might win a spot on this team, especially for how nitty gritty he is of a player. Jordy?
So,
Okay. How about you, Jordy?
I know how this one's going to sound. My gut's telling me Craig James.
Who?
And
No, people know him.
and a lot of what made me pick this guy is he's been with the roster for a
Mitch
while.
is just being a fool.
That's fine.
He's been with the roster. He hasn't really got a chance, I'd say, because he's played probably around 10 games in his career. Actually, no. He's played 20 because he played a lot during the 19 season. But
Yeah, Craig James played a couple games with us.
He is a solid corner.
he's a solid corner. I think he needs a little bit more development that I don't think that short scheme helped with at all, or that he really got during his time here previously. But with the new staff and everything,
Mhm.
I think this could be the right situation for him to break out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I'm gonna go with huh?
Wait, what about
Can you
Avante
guys hear me?
Maddox?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
I can hear you, but I feel like it's like a delay, like a 1 second delay. I don't know if it's for anyone else.
Yeah, it's a little delay.
Yeah.
A little bit. Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling that way too.
Leave and rejoin. Maybe that can help.
Oh great, I'm by myself. Jesus Christ. I hate
They're
playing
still
with
playing,
freaking randoms.
still playing Fortnite, bro.
Oh, you got an Xbox? Okay.
PS4, PS5,
Oh, you got a PS5. I look like an Xbox controller.
PS5.
All right,
Okay.
can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. Good.
Hey, how am I
All
still
right,
alive?
cool.
What the hell?
All right. Yeah, I'd have to say for my dark horse CB, it would be Michael Jaquette.
Nope. I'm still in.
I'm telling you. No, do not shy on this guy. I'm telling you. Do not shy on him.
My dude's
He
got
might
hurt.
listen. I know the Dallas game gave you a bad taste, but I'm telling you, think about the coaches we had last year. All right, these guys are different. They can teach. They can do a lot different things than what we had. I believe, because the potential was there. You saw it, but he was put in a bad situation last year, and that's not on him. I'm willing to erase the slate for him, and if he can buckle down and get his head on straight and learn this defense, he could definitely come out being a threat. I would not be surprised.
So I got a question for y'all.
Yeah,
What's
what's
Um,
up?
that?
so who do you guys think? And I think some people have answered this question before, but who do you guys think will break out on offense for the Eagles, and who do you guys think will break out on defense for the Eagles? One specific player though, on both sides.
This,
Go ahead, MG.
All right, I'll go. Offense. This is my guy, man, and I'm mad that Alshon Jeffrey was getting more snaps than him last year, and that's Travis Fulgham, man.
Bro, come
that was
on.
mine. That was
Come
mine.
Travis
on, bro.
Fulgham.
Why do you gotta steal my answers, bro?
Travis Fulgham. Okay, this man was having amazing games. 10 catches for 150. His first ever game. A big game touchdown. By the way, great throw by Carson Wentz, probably his best throw of the year. And
It's
then
number 2
against
from
the
now on.
against the Ravens, had a big touchdown to get us back in the game. Against the Giants, had another decent game. But the problem is when you give a old and I'm sorry, Alshon Jeffrey, but when you get an old 30-plus-year-old wide receiver on injured legs, on beat up legs, and Alshon Jeffrey more snaps than a young promising Travis Fulgham. Obviously, at the end of the season, Travis Fulgham was going to struggle because you took away a lot of his playing time. Listen, Travis Fulgham's going to be a great receiver. He's going to show more potential than he did last season, and Devontae Smith is going to get a lot of attention, which is going to give a lot of soft coverage on Travis Fulgham. I think Travis Fulgham's going to have a breakout year offensively. And then defensively, man. Defensively, it's Josh Sweat. It's Josh Sweat, man. He last season gave us a lot of hope on the defensive line outside of Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. And I think this is the time where he takes Derek Barnett's spot. He is the perfect replacement for Derek Barnett. And I think Josh Sweat is going to give us a lot of great defensive plays this year, rushing the passer, helping stop the run. And I just think I see a lot of potential this year in Josh Sweat, man.
Okay, plan B then. Because MG my answers. For offense, I'll say Dallas Goedert. I think if he's fully healthy this year, barring if Rogers doesn't like take a lot of snaps from him, I think Goddard is going to be a phenomenal player this year. We're all high on him. We expect great things from him this season. We want to see more of him in the red zone where he really thrives. If you can throw the ball up to him where he can get the ball and just snag it out of the air, that's what you're gonna do with him. And I think he'll have about 900-ish yards. That's the limit I have him right now. On defense, MG took one of my players, but on defense, I'll say Avonte Maddox. Not many people are high on him. I think he'll break out this year if Gannon utilizes him right in that nickel. I think magic can happen with Avonte Maddox. You can make it. You can see, what's called. You're gonna see a flashback of a good Avonte Maddox, a solid Avonte Maddox in like 2018. Avonte Maddox is gonna be a solid player this year, and I think if Gannon can develop him, my God, he's going to be a good player.
All right. For me,
How about you, Jordan?
oh, okay.
So
Saving
I
you
know.
for last, buddy.
Wow, okay.
on offense, the first thing that popped into my mind was J-Jaw, but
Damn, you took mine.
Of
I
course,
decided to go another way.
Oh,
You
that
took
was my
mine.
second option.
of course.
I decided to
Jordan
go
will-
another way. Now,
I know
hear me
y'all
out,
are playing
Elijah
with me, right?
Holyfield, and this is because
Am I really?
this depends on the management looking at Kerryon Johnson and Jordan Howard and saying, well, Kerryon hasn't stayed healthy, and Howard, we don't know if he can reach the level he was at before the Stinger. And they decide to stick with youth and take Elijah. And that also kind of depends on what they want to run and if they're taking 4 or 5 running backs. But looking aside from that, he's never really gotten a chance either. And I think we really need a power back in this lineup. I think you can't have a running back by committee without having at least some sort of power runner that's going to go through people and get you some yards. And I think if developed right, Holyfield can be just that. And on defense, I had to go with TJ Edwards because he's had his ups and downs in Philly. He's definitely had his ups and downs. And he's a former UDFA, and we all know how he loves his former UDFAs for some reason. But TJ had a good season last season. And I think this coaching staff, and with Rollis as the linebacker coach and Gannon as the DC, I think they can really elevate him to that next level his potential can reach.
Okay, real quick. Do you think Howard even makes this team?
No.
No.
I got Howard.
What?
I don't have Scott.
Okay.
I think Howard and Kerryon Johnson is going to be a fun battle to watch in training camp. Even though I think Johnson will win it, I think if Howard's healthy, he could be good this year. To be honest with you, he could be solid.
Don't forget about Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's my only thing. If he loses to Johnson, then you got Miles, you got Johnson, and then you have Gainwell, and I want to put Killins in that 4th position
yeah,
because I
we need a
believe he's
returner.
going to be our special. Yeah, I believe he's going to be our special team threat.
I still gotta see some proven. I want to see some something with proven with Kenneth Gainwell. He's not proven yet. Until he gets on that field, I can really.
No, but the fact that he's a fifth round pick automatically almost scares him.
Oh yeah,
season.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and trust me, they were as excited they were when they picked him. They wanted him. So, all right, Mitch, hit us.
Whiteside.
Bro, get out of this.
All right, I can't even keep a
Bro,
straight
Get
face.
out
I
of
can't
this.
even
Get
keep
out
a
of this.
straight
stream,
face.
bro.
I'm
You're
going
banned.
Rager.
You're banned for a lifetime, bro. Get out of here.
Nah.
Good job, man.
I'm going
Whiteside.
Rager. I'm going Rager because people are still calling this guy a bust, which is like hard to like. How he
Yeah.
he didn't even play. Like how many games did the guy play?
6, I
He
think.
got out of 3 games, I think. So that was a
Okay, we're just going to call it less than 7.
Yeah.
So the guys play less than 7 games. People are forgetting how fast this guy is, man. People are forgetting he ran like a 4.5 in like a 40-yard dash or something in the combine. And that guy is like, dude, he's going to be great in the slot. I just can't wait to see him ball out and just like, don't sleep on him, man. I'm just telling you guys, do not sleep on Rager. And for the defense side of the ball, this is going to be tough. Like for me, I'm trying not to pick the guys you already picked. So for me, I am going with, I can't say Fletcher Cox because he's going to keep on balling out no matter what. God dang. Do I go with Barnett? No. Shoot. You know what? I'm going with Darius Slay here. I'm going with Darius Slay.
What? I already broke out. You can't pick me.
Hey,
No,
Oh my God! The day you
he
broke
can
out
break
when
out
you
from
saw
what-
you. The day you broke out when you showed your face on your camera.
Bro,
that is true. That is true.
from
y'all keep forgetting that I showed my my face on the first ever video I did though.
Okay, so anyways, I'm going with Darius Slay because he needs to like step up with this cornerback being terrible. No one over there. The secondary be even though we got Anthony Harris. So I'm going with Darius Slay, and he did show his face on camera, so that's why I'm going with him.
I'm super
Well, and no lie, dude, he can break out from what he did last year. Like
Yeah,
he
I was
good
gonna say
last
Brandon
year, but he
Graham,
can do so
but-
much better.
I was going to say Brandon Graham, but I think
I
he'll
mean,
be
Brandon
fine.
Graham, if you're gonna say breakout, he kind of did that last year. Had his
Yeah,
career
that's
season.
what I. Yeah,
But
Okay, well,
No,
I mean, there's so many guys,
Yeah.
you know, that you could say is going to break out on this team, and I can't believe no one out here yet even said his name on offense. So I'm just going to do it.
I'll say
Jalen Hurts.
wow,
What?
okay.
Fucking, I mean, that's my most obvious choice. You know, he's a quarterback. He's going to break out. He's either sinking or he's swimming. So, you know, I don't think he's going to sink. So, you know, he's obviously going to break out. I told you I have him at Carson Wentz's second year, almost. You know,
yeah.
3,400. You know, 3,400 yards.
actually, can I
32
change mine?
touchdowns,
I'm
6
going to Michael
interceptions.
Walker.
What?
He's already a special teams guy. I'm going with Michael Walker. We
But
signed
wait.
him and got rid of
The
Trevor
wide
Grimes. Then we got
receiver we
Grimes
just
back.
picked
Then
up.
now Grimes is
Bro,
gone again.
if you mention that name, AK is gonna go nuts. You know, 2 catches does not prove anything.
Hey, if we're changing our guys, I'm going JJ Arthega Whiteside, man.
Hey!
No.
Yo, I like you, man.
Yeah.
I like you, dude.
Yo,
Hey.
y'all are gonna make these people
we-
leave my stream.
No,
Either we
but-
play
You're my
JJar or we
super Fortnite.
hashtag
It's
free
my
JJar.
turn.
One of the two.
Free
Listen.
job, bro.
In
Free
all
J-Jaw.
seriousness,
But
in all
you know what
seriousness,
though?
we have to cut J-Jaw. If we don't cut him this training camp, I don't know what else to do.
But do you guys feel like if he's utilized right this year, if he's utilized as a player right, do you think like if he's utilized as a big body type of receiver like in the intermediate, do you guys think he can thrive?
Yeah, because he's built kind of like an Alshon. He's
Yeah.
a possession receiver that can hurt you very bad in the red zone. And you saw that in college with him at Stanford, which I know too well because I'm a Notre Dame fan. But he was so good in the red zone that you were always like, all right, watch him because that's what he did. That's what he was known for. He comes to Philly and what he's known for is his mom holding an umbrella over him at practice.
Yep. But yeah, you saw in that Washington game when they threw it up to him. When Doug Peterson actually decided to use him, it's kind of ironic that he started to use him in the last what's called game of the season. It's kind of ironic to me. Oh, we lost AK, but I was gonna say it's kind of ironic.
I'm in charge. Let's go.
I mean, he
Everyone
was
leave.
I don't know why
believe.
you're surprised, Big Play Slay. I mean, he was using everyone in the last game of the season.
Dude,
Yeah.
he
yeah.
could have used J Jaw like plenty of more times in the
He could
regular
have, though.
season, but he didn't.
How?
Also, too, remember the Pittsburgh
I'm
game?
like, what the hell?
JJ Arcega-Whiteside in the Pittsburgh game, after that one catch he got at halftime, we should have kept feeding him because he got momentum. You seen when he got up from the catch, he was very energetic and he was ready to get the ball more.
But I will say though, defensively, my pick for breakout is Kayvon Wallace,
Yeah.
hands
I
down. Kayvon needs to step up this year because we need to see if he can handle Rodney McLeod leaving. So he needs to do his thing this year. So that's my breakout.
Head out.
To
I'm about to go to sleep. I'll talk to you all later.
All right,
Peace.
All right, buddy.
All right,
I'm just gonna say this right here before I'm gonna head out. Whiteside's making the roster.
Bro. to MG's point, I was gonna say, I feel like Doug is to blame for why JJ Arcega-Whiteside is this bad. Yes, some of those mistakes are on him, but every single time he gains momentum, he stops using him. Look at the Pittsburgh game. Look at the Washington game. He used him 1 or 2 times and then he stopped using him the entire game. Like, I don't know why he decides to use him once and then he stops using him. You might as well just let him be in the game for the for the entire game. Am I wrong?
Bro. Listen, I understand. All right, I do. But this is the way I look at this shit, man. Sorry, I'm laughing because it's funny. If he was good, I'm sorry. Whether Doug didn't like him or not, or whatever was going on and why he didn't play, I have no idea. But if he was good, the man would have played. Like, you're not going to sit a man who's good. You're just not going to do it. I don't care. Like, so many coaches hated Terrell Owens, but guess what? They fucking knew he was great. They played him. That's the way you got to look at this. If these guys aren't playing, it's not because they are bad people or they're great, but our coaches hate them. It's because there's people better than them.
Right.
It's plain and simple. And I had a guy say, there was a dude that was on my channel the other day, and in the chat, he was like, well, I'm a Stanford fan. He's like, so, of course I love JJ. I was like, listen, man, that's great. I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I said, be a JJ fan all you want. I said, but just because he's from Stanford and he's one of your favorite players does not mean he has to be successful in the NFL. I said, I'm a Penn State fan. I said, you know how many great players Penn State has had over the years of my life?
Right.
And how many of them have made it? I was like, but I'm not going to sit here and whine about it.
Look
I
at me.
was like, it's okay to suck. It is.
And to add to your point, like Antonio Brown, no one likes Antonio Brown, but he still was being used on the field in Tampa Bay because he's good. Talent, and I do agree with that. Talent, if you're good, they're going to figure out how to get their personality issues fixed, because if you're talented, you're going to get played.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. I mean, I know everyone wants to sit here and say, oh, no, JJ was screwed or he wasn't utilized the right way. It's like, dude, if you're great, you can play in any scheme. It does not matter where you go. You'll play. Like, for instance, AJ Green, he's still going to be great. Julio, he's still going to be great. Aaron Rodgers, wherever he goes, he's still going to be great. Same with Deshaun, same with all these guys. That's not going to be JJ. He's not just going to go over to Miami and be great or go over to Atlanta and be great. If he was good, he would have played. It's that plain and simple. You're not going to seek your best people. You're not going to do it.
Bro, JJ Arcega-Whiteside is the greatest receiver ever. Like, there's no other good receiver.
Thanks. Stop bringing Josh.
Just playing. But MG, guess what?
Huh.
Morgan Moses signed with the Jets.
Good for Morgan Moses. Hey, I never talked to any of you guys about this, but how good do you think Ryan Kerrigan does this year?
You want to go first, AK?
Yeah, I'll go for first. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, bro, he is starting every single snap during Washington. Like, that's the first thing I'm doing. Like, that man will not miss a single snap because that's the game he's circled on his calendar. Like, that's the most important one. So, if you're going to get anything from this man, they're the two games you want to unleash him. But yeah, no, I honestly, man, I would start Kerrigan over Barnett at this point because I just love what Kerrigan brings. I really do. I'd use Barnett as your rotational piece because, I mean, yeah, Kerrigan's old, man, but the dude's still got a lot left. The only reason Kerrigan got let go, and don't get it mistaken, Kerrigan got let go because he's behind two fucking monsters in Young and Sweat. And no offense to Kerrigan, he's great, but these guys are next generational fucking players.
Mhm.
So I understand why Washington let him go. But don't get it mixed up. He still can fucking play.
Yeah. I'll say I definitely do think if Kerrigan he's used correctly, which I do think it will. I think he'll be a guy that can be like a depth rotation to where, when Fletcher Cox, I'm not saying that Kerrigan and Fletcher Cox play the same position, but I'm like saying if a guy like Derek Barnett is getting tired, he's lazy on that field. If he's getting tired and stuff, Brian Kerrigan is going to be a guy that can come in the game and be a force to be reckoned with because he's very like nourishing and he's not tired like Derek Barnett. So I feel like he can be one of those guys that can help you in a game when one of your like key players is getting tired, like a Fletcher Cox, for instance, or Derek Barnett or Josh Sweat. Maybe it increases, it limits the chances of any of those guys getting injured because of his presence on the field. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yo, real quick before we go to you, Jordy, I need to answer this. Richie, that's actually funny that you say that because I don't know if anybody in here plays Madden, but if you do and you play on franchise, you can actually make J. Joel a fucking god in Madden.
You can, yes,
Like,
yes.
I don't know if you know that or not, but yeah, you can actually make him fucking like the 50-50 god. I'm not playing. Like, he's actually really good in Madden, so it's sad that in real life he cannot portray what he is in that game because in the game, dude, you can develop him actually really nice. So it's funny you bring that up.
Yep. All right, y'all. It's been great talking to y'all. I'll see you guys around tomorrow or something.
Peace out.
Yeah, for sure, man, and
Yeah.
definitely hit me up anytime, dude, on Twitter.
100%.
If you want to collab, do something,
Sir.
I'm always down, brother.
All right, 100%. All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Later, bud. Yo, there's my guy. What's up, Lindy?
Lindy and
Get on in here.
Hey,
But yeah, go ahead, Jordy.
what's the question?
Shit, I already forget. Do you remember, Slay?
I think he said something about Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was the
So-
Kerrigan question.
It's all going to depend on what type of a role they use him in. If they use him as a rotational guy, and depending on where they set him up, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But the only thing that really sticks out to me is Washington only last year moved to a 4-3 from a 3-4, and now he's coming to Philly. I think that'll have a slight effect, but not enough that you're going to notice. But I still think it's going to have that slight effect. But it depends on how much they use him in the rotation. Are they going to a lot? Probably. But there's also the sense of you want to give the guys behind him a little bit of time too. So it all depends on how they use him and what injuries occur. Because we know with Philly, injuries are going to happen. It's just it's a thing that happens every year now.
Yeah. No, it does, and that's the sad part, man. Because we had the conversation the other day about injuries, and after the stream was over, I sat there and I was trying to think. I was like, have I ever seen this in my life where we went through something like this? And I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had injuries. You know, we've had bad years where we went through injuries, but we've never had consecutive years like this. Like it's truly ridiculous how common it's become for us. You know. What's up, Lindy? How you doing, man?
I'm in here.
Yeah. So hey, how you feel about Kerrigan, man? You feel he could be a threat for the starting role? MG asked that question right before he bounced, but
I mean, yeah, man. There's no doubt that he's going to fight for starters. Starter snaps. I don't think he would have came to Philly if that wasn't the case. He knew that our defensive line was struggling for depth, especially at the defensive end position. And anytime that a team is struggling in in that position, yeah, there's really no other way to look at it, in my opinion, other than like he's going to want to step in front of guys like Josh Sweat or Teron Jackson or whoever that was brought in from the rookie class. He's gonna want to take some of those snaps, and does that add as a benefit to some of the kids? Sure, it does, because it's another veteran presence, but it's also a detriment to them because you can't imagine. You can't imagine that they're going to get any more snaps in the field because Kerrigan is, he's adding to that rotation of the roster. So it's a positive and a negative, but we have to remember that I don't think Kerrigan would have came here if he knew that he was going to get just as many, if not fewer, snaps than what Washington was giving him.
did you hear my argument before you got in here, or was that right before you got in here about him?
Not really, no.
Okay. The only thing I said about him is, the only reason why I feel he could be a threat, and if he is, is he was behind two renowned pass rushers in this league coming up forward. They're next level athletes behind Sweat and Young. They don't need him per se, so to speak. So I just feel that they let him go because of that, and he's just being slept on. Like he still is effective. He's still got a lot left. You see in the little games that he played last year, he did good enough, more than what he should have in the time that he played. So I mean, it's still there, and I just feel, with him being able to produce still, he is a threat to Barnett because, I mean, you can't overlook him. He was just behind two premier pass rushers, and that's why he just didn't shine a lot,
Well, Michael Bennett showed us the same thing at 32. Brandon Graham has showed us the same thing at 32.
Yeah.
Chris Long has showed us the same thing at 32. So, I mean, in that position, age didn't really affect them. And, same thing goes for Ryan Kerrigan, especially for a squad right now that is really struggling to find quality depth at the defensive end position, where we're in a situation that we had to give $10 million to Derek Barnett on a fifth-year option. We're hoping that Josh Sweat can come back from those knee injuries, at his age. And so, yeah, I mean, Kerrigan feasted on an opportunity, and I would be surprised if he doesn't take it.
Okay, now, and brings up my other thing. I brought it up the other day on my stream is, Howie's owned this team, or Jeffrey Lurie's owned this team for 20 years plus years now, right? Around there. I think he got it back in 92, 94, something like that. We've had a lot of really good defenses in our time, with a lot of really good defensive players. And over these last 5 years, seeing us shy away from the linebacker position, seeing us shy away from the seeing us shy away from the cornerback position and everything going on, why this man is letting Howie single-handedly destroy what we have built over the years respect-wise for our defense, whenever he can step in and make that a mandatory thing. Like, take care of this position, make it more of an importance in our scheme and our defense. Like, I just don't understand, and that's what me and I think it was Mitch that we were talking about. I was like, I just don't understand how you can sit there and let that happen, because it's something I can't explain when you have so good defenses over the years and then just let it diminish, how you cannot put all your time and effort to rebuild that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
it's a very hard thing to wrap your head around.
Mhm.
And it's like I said, I love Howie, but I really fucking hate him. It's a love-hate relationship with that man. Because there's things he does, you're like, you're fucking awesome. And then there's things you do and you just want to Bart Simpson the shit out of him. So
A prime example would be the 2017 season where he built that Super Bowl team with that formula, but it also cost us because it was gonna evidently hurt us in the future because we used so much money in that off season just to get these players on that Super Bowl team, and we backloaded on those contracts. We could have gotten younger players to build down the line. We probably would still have Carson Wentz if they built this team around him. Like,
well, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Lindy, because you're more of the statistic guy than I am. The only reason that we are fucked is because of COVID. If the COVID season never happened and we were able to be full capacity and everything went normal, our cap actually would have been a lot more reasonable, correct?
sounds right.
Like, we actually would have had, the cap never would have actually taken the drop that it did this year, which put us in the bind that we were in. So if the season would have went as planned, everything would have went as planned. You had your full off season, full capacity all season long. Technically, we actually weren't out of cap range. We were where we were supposed to be. But when Howie did this, he did it 2 years ago. He planned this all out and he pulled the trigger and did it. He wasn't able to take account of a worldwide sickness. So in a way, it's not his fault. But in a way, it is. You know what I mean? Like, the point is, you fucking overpaid for people you shouldn't have paid the money to because you paid them for what they did and not who they were going to be over the next 3 years.
that's exactly my point. I feel like he could have just gotten younger guys to build around Carson Wentz instead of just backloading on contracts that probably should not have been here for as long as they did. Like a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, he should not have been here that long. But Howie Roseman had the cap just for him, and look what happened. He's not even on this team anymore.
Go ahead, Lindy. You were going to say something, bud.
No, I mean, well, it sounds simple. When the NFL suffers, you have to imagine that the rest of the franchises are going to suffer because it's just it sounds like a revolving revenue. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Sixers fans want KP Richie back. I don't know about that. I don't know if y'all want him. He's not gonna make spacing any better with Embiid. I don't see it. If you're asking for KP, then somebody's going to lose starters minutes, and I don't think that's going to bode well. Plus the Sixers, plus they have to pay Embiid at some point. Yeah, I don't think you want 2 contracts of. I don't know if you want to hold on to 2 contracts like that. I mean, the only way you're going to make that happen is if Ben Simmons is not on the team. that's the case, then by all means try and go for it. But I don't think Sixers fans would be happy with KP and Embiid.
Yeah, I don't think the Sixers are gonna be that dumb to do that. But okay.
Okay, so this brings up my next question then. And it just popped into my head, so I'm going to just throw it out there. This left tackle position, whoever wins this, whether it be Dillard or Mailata, which most of you know who I want to win, but
All right.
do they become a trade asset at that point because of having Dickerson? I see you shaking your head, Randy. I know.
No.
And I've heard your take on this, honestly, so I know. But because we have Dickerson, Herbig, Driscoll, and I guess we have that undrafted free agent we got. So and is Brown still on this roster?
No, Jamon's been gone.
No, the one we just got a couple weeks ago, or whatever. And
You
then
mean
we grab a
Raven
left
Clark?
tackle. Is it Clark? I mean, yeah, he's
The
still
Raven
here,
Clark
right?
from the Colts, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, we have people, but yeah, I mean, so do you feel, especially if Dillard wins, do you feel he'd pull a trigger and use his superstar as revenue to try and grab assets, save money, picks?
I doubt a guy like Jordan Mailata is going to be on the trade block. There's no way, because that's Jeff Stoutland's. That's his pride and joy. That's his project.
For sure.
I mean, for the amount of time that he invested in Mailata, there's no way that that's going to be in the conversation. As it goes for Andre Dillard, I don't see it either. The only thing really going against Dillard right now is the lack of versatility. He was put at that right tackle spot. It didn't work out for him. But we remember going back to 2019 and the limited amount of games that Andre Dillard did play, and he was able to shut guys down like Khalil Mack. So there is something there. The injury went against him. He had a ticky-tack one, I think, in 19, and then he goes down again in 20. It would be hard to move on from a guy like that. I know that he has a lack of versatility, but he was a first-round pick. Depth in the trenches is one of the top-tier priorities for any football team. And if Jordan Mailata ends up getting hurt, because we've seen that he had to go into concussion protocol last year late in the season, you could put in a guy like Dillard or left tackle in a pinch, and you almost wouldn't miss a beat. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't see either one of them two in trade conversations unless something drastic happens or one of these younger kids decides to show something different. And it depends where Landon Dickerson is going. Left tackle spot they're in a pretty good position right now, and I wouldn't do anything to ruin it.
I just really feel that Driscoll is a threat to Dillard, man, because he held up really well last year for our right tackle position. And if he only keeps improving, he's versatile. You can move him in and out. Dillard, you can't. So if Driscoll can prove that he can handle it, I don't see why there is need to hold on to Dillard.
I don't know if I've seen Jack Driscoll at the left tackle spot. That's why I would question the move with Dillard. I think we've only seen him at right tackle and right guard. It's just it just all depends at the end of the day what Jeff Stoutland wants. And that's in combination of, front office decisions. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just hard it's hard to move on from a first round asset, especially when you're dealing outside of.
Lindy, you're cutting out.
Yeah,
you cut out real bad there.
Yeah, there was a bit of a static at one point, but yeah, no. No, my point is that I don't see it right now, and I think that decision would be a lot easier to covered by seeing how these actually look. But at this point in time, I'm not putting Dillard in trade conversations.
Yeah, I have to agree with Lindy because
He's only going into his third year too, so
yeah,
he's only a
Dillard,
third year.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dillard,
but think about that stat though, man. 3 years and not even a start.
He's had
yeah.
at least.
You're a first round pick. Like you should be playing all the time.
I gotta.
That's my only issue with it. Well, I mean, you're right. He might have had a couple starts his rookie year. If I remember right, at the end of the year, he might have came in for Peters.
The Seahawks game, yeah.
Yeah.
started
So
two
you're right. But I mean, even then, he got manhandled, man. Like it was rough his rookie year,
Yeah.
if I remember right. So I mean, it's just from what I saw and then not playing at all since. Like my expectations aren't that high because I'm only going off of what I saw previously. You can say what you want, but seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. You know what I mean?
You gotta give him the benefit of the doubt because
No, you do.
yeah, he was a rookie and he's a first round pick, so you still have to see what you have in him.
Yeah, but as a first round pick, are you expecting that first round pick to get manhandled like he did?
Well, he was a rookie.
He got.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good rookie offensive
playing
linemen.
right tackle.
What's up?
Yeah, he got manhandled most when he was playing right tackle. I mean,
Yeah.
He started 4 games in 19. He had at least 2 of those were good games, and you put into factor that out of those 4 games he played. Well, no, it says he played all 16 games in 19, but he only started 4. But in those 16 games and only starting, a quarter of those, he's only accounted for 29% of offensive snaps. That's not a great measuring stick to go off of. And then for him to get injured, going into training camp of 2020 and then enter 2021, that's just like, what does Stoutland have to go off of here if there's no consistency in trying to build upon this player, especially him being a first round pick? There's a give or take there.
How you feel, Jordy?
So, my take, I gotta agree with both of them. I don't see a reason to put either on the trade block, but I think in the future, you could see Andre Dillard hit the block in the next couple years, depending on if he regresses or not, or if something happens, he can't stay healthy, or he just doesn't fit the mold that they're trying to have at the left tackle spot.
Okay.
And like Landy said, he's not versatile. And going into this year, we don't know how much this staff is going to value players that can move around. And that's been a big thing in my mind of how much are they going to utilize.
It's definitely a top priority. I mean, a lot of the players we drafted, their biggest thing is versatility. So,
yeah.
Driscoll.
And let's be honest, Dillard is our only non-versatile player on that offensive line.
Yeah, Driscoll.
Everybody else can play everywhere.
Minus.
Driscoll's gonna be a sneaky one. Where he's gonna be really good this year if he's consistently on that field.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Like I honestly think he's a gem. I really do.
Dude, him and Herbig are our future. Like I really think highly of both of them. I believe they're with Stoutland working with them for another year or so. They're going to be really good.
Yeah, you gotta constantly use Driscoll because that first game against Washington, he was the only guy on that offensive line that was doing good. And mind you, he was a rookie playing his first pro NFL game with no off season, no mini camp, no what's called preseason games to like go off of. He still played really good against one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. So that tells you
Yeah.
how good he actually is when he gets to play a
Yep.
16 game season. You still don't know what you have in him, but if he plays a 16 game, a full 16 game season, he could be good.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I like I said, I think highly of Driscoll and Herbig. I have high hopes for them a lot. Now, Jordy, I gotta ask you this because this started a rift last night, and I know Lindy knows what I'm talking about. On the stream?
Was this in Discord?
No. Last night in Foothills.
Oh, Foothills call
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Hey, Lindy, remember Jamie Newman over Nick Mullen?
Yeah. All right. So, Jordy, I got to ask you this because I know how these guys feel. They know how I feel. We all three kind of stand on the same here. But how do you feel about the whole Jamie Newman, Nick Mullins thing, man? You good with it?
Now, I've been thinking about this a lot, especially since when I did my video on this. I was fine with dropping Newman for Mullins, basically, but I just had that sense of what. I mean, yeah, Mullins has done some good stuff in his time when he's played, but don't we want a guy that we can develop to be our next QB2, that we can fully mold ourselves, especially with this young coaching staff that has a lot of energy? Wouldn't it make sense to bring in a younger guy? But for now, I think I'd be fine with it. But in the future, I also would be fine with either dropping Mullins back to the QB3 spot or off the roster and getting somebody else to be your future CB2. Because if 2017 has taught us anything, or looking around at other teams in the league have taught us anything over the past couple of years, is sometimes your backup quarterback is just as important as your starter because injuries are going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, and listen, how you put that, mad respect, because I love how you said that. I understand where you're coming from. Now, granted, Nick Mullins is only 27. He's only played for the 49ers. He has experience. I think he's still around the age that we can mold him into what we want him to be. I don't think he's fully committed to just one scheme, you know. I think we can make him into what we want. But I was a huge Jamie Newman supporter. I mean, I really liked the kid out of college. I really did. You know, I truly feel if he would have played last year, he would be in the top 10 conversation of the quarterbacks that were in this draft class. You know, he's got a really good arm. He reminds me a lot of Jalen Hurts. And if you would have kept him, you wouldn't have had to change the offense. You could have plugged him right in and just went. You know, because they played damn near exactly the same. And like you said, you can mold him and make him whatever you want because he hasn't played yet. So it's his first time. So I get that. Like, I respect that. That I completely 100% understand. You know, I will not argue or complain that one bit, but over the experience part, I have to go with Mullins on that. But like I said, man, props. I respect how you came in a defensive way with that because I get where you're coming from. You want to take on that, Lindy, at all?
I'm just under the impression that, you know, Nick Mullins is already off. He's already off to a head start. First of all, you know, like I said in the other call-in, you know, Jamie Newman, you would have to, you know, he would be growing with some of the rookies, and you know, going into going into training camp and going into the fact of people having to fight for roster spots, it's not going to suit them very well because, Jamie is trying to be molded into a offense that he doesn't know how to operate. Mullins has already had experience in a West Coast style system, much like in similarity of what Sirianni is trying to bring here with Kevin Patullo and Shane Steichen. There's a similarity there already. Mullins already has the NFL experience. He was okay for the most part with, playing under Shanahan for San Francisco. And I had another good point. I had another good point. I'm trying to think of it right now, but
Brain fart.
Just because. And I get the whole thing with Jamie Newman and about his mold and whatnot, and just because Nick Mullins is a different mold to Jamie Newman, just because of that fact doesn't mean he's not going to work. I mean, we already seen Sirianni work with 3 totally different quarterbacks, and Jacoby Brissett and Phillip Rivers and Andrew Luck. I mean, that doesn't mean that you would necessarily been better off with Jamie Newman over Nick Mullins, because you obviously wouldn't have. Nick Mullins has a head start where Newman you have to start from scratch with him. And being the fact that Jamie Newman didn't show anything to help him stand out in rookie minicamp to not make it to training camp, that's a problem. So yeah. I mean, my opinion, we're in a better position right now with Nick Mullins, and I get that he's in the last year of his rookie contract, but and I get that we may not have necessarily gave Jamie Newman the chance that, maybe or maybe not. This is the situation where, maybe he didn't get the chance he deserved. We don't know. But all we know is that he didn't offer anything different to the football team to say that, maybe we have something here. That's not to say that he won't for another franchise, but for what the Eagles need right now, Mullins fits the bill a little better than a guy like Jamie Newman does.
Okay, now let me figure out how to order this here. I hate when you say "uh-oh." I feel though sometimes that we make moves that really make us feel like we're trying to win now, and then we don't make moves that make us feel like we're trying to win now. If you know what I mean. You still there, Jordy?
Yeah.
Okay. Something happened.
Really?
You alright there, buddy?
No, my laptop's doing the same thing it did before.
Oh shit.
There we go.
There you go.
I forgot to plug in the Ethernet cable because I share it with my PlayStation. I forgot to plug it in, so I'm not working off of Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
Finally, the lighting is so much better.
So, but yeah, you missed it, so I'll redo it. I feel like sometimes we are making moves to win now, and then we're not making moves to win now, and it really confuses me. And I'm sure it confuses a lot of other people, because I feel if we were going to try and win now, you would fill that CB2 spot, but then you go out and you get Wilson, you get Harris, you bring in these coaches, and then you don't do things, and then you do things. It's a very confusing time. So, I just want to go around the room here and just kind of get your guys' thoughts on stuff. Like, what are you confused about? What do you need to see? What changes do you want? If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I just want to see growing changes from the team in itself. I just want to see the little things, like the fundamental things. I don't want players to think that like they have to superhero to carry us to the victory, like Carson Wentz did. Superman, you had to be Superman doing all this stuff. Just play your game and do the fundamental things to help you win the. I want that to be established in this culture. I want that to be passed on to everyone because I don't want this team to be bad. Like I want this team to be good. We all want this team to be good. And we have to do that by being fundamentally sound and what's just getting a new culture where when and you're fundamentally sound. That's what I want in this organization.
How about you, Jory?
Now, one thing I really want to see from this team, and Howie especially, is now we've said a lot. This is a slight retooling, kind of soft rebuild offseason. But I want to see this team fully commit to either doing a soft rebuild and developing things where they need to, like at receiver, tight end, running back, corner, linebacker, stuff like that, because we've got a lot of places to develop players. You've either got to commit to developing guys or a win now atmosphere. You've got and go with win now moves. You've got to choose one of the two. And that's something that we've been all over the place for the past 4 years. Is after the collapse after 2017, there was never. It always seemed like there was a commitment more to win now than anything, and stopping the window before it closed. But then looking back, it seemed like how he shut the window before the next year even came. And at times it didn't seem like he was fully committed to win now. So I think we need to see a little bit better from Howie. And I get it, he's done better this year, but this is his contract year. He's trying to get an extension. And who's to say he doesn't fall back on bad habits? So, like backloading contracts or signing people too soon. Alshon. But I think we just need to know, what are we doing? What are we committing to? Especially with this new staff that is young, full of not confidence, but full of energy and drive.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Like, I'm right there with you in that sense. I would love for them to come out and say, you know what, Nick is our coach. We stand by him. Hurts is our quarterback. We stand by him. Because if you look at a lot of the franchises in history that are successful, they pretty much keep the same head coach. You know, like Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin. You know, I believe Pittsburgh's had 3 head coaches in the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a hell of a stat. You know, that means you don't get rid of many people, and they're very successful. You know, and success comes by having the same people together. You know, continuity all the time, and we switch head coaches like we switch underwear. I'm not even playing. Like, we're always looking all the time. Like, I just want them to find someone they truly like and just stick with them. Find a quarterback they truly like, just stick with them. There's going to be bad years, there's going to be good years, but you figure it out. That's what you do, you know. So I feel you, man. Like, Lindy, you want to go off that, man?
Nothing really for me to think about other than Richie Mack talked about how Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh said no thanks to Mullins. Well, I mean, you gotta think of this. Did he say no thanks to Mullins being a starter? Did he say no thanks to him being a backup? I mean, two things can be true here, but I mean, you can still say yes to him as a number 3. That makes the most sense in my opinion. I mean, obviously they can't imagine that, neither Mullins or CJ Beathard is the answer at starter, even though Garoppolo is constantly hurt. But I mean, I get that point, but we're still okay. We're still better off with Mullins as the number 3 over a guy like Jamie Newman, because you can even, we could even get lucky in the next couple of drafts, and if we needed a developmental quarterback, we didn't have to, or we don't have to take one that's undrafted. If we like one enough that is able to be drafted, we can take them, and we can take them in day 3. Whether it be the 5th through 7th round. So, yeah, I'm not sweating it, but I do get that you would like to see how he does in preseason games, which thankfully we do have preseason games. We have 3 of them. And that also is going to tie to the rest of the rookies, because I mean, for the amount of openings that we have at positions, with with the way safety's even looking, like if Rodney McLeod is not able to start week 1, who are your starters at safety if we're going to go to a 4-2-5 look on defense? Is it going to be, who's going to be next to Anthony Harris? Are you gonna trust the Avon Wallace? Are you going to trust him in going into a second year?
And then you have to see what he is, man.
Then you look at who is behind the first string. You're going to have who is it? Marcus Epps and then Andrew Adams. So I mean, man, safety position that's bad. It's in a bad spot. No thanks to being a backup to teach and mentor their system and philosophy to the new squad.
He's talking about to the Jets.
And then
he's talking about Mullins going to the Jets. He didn't want to go there because he didn't want to be a mentor and teach. He wanted to play.
Yeah.
I don't blame him, because Mullins is still wanting to achieve more in the NFL as a guy that's only 26, coming to the expiration of his rookie deal. He's going to want to fight for more, other than being a mentor. I don't blame him for that. He would want to compete with Zach Wilson for the starter position for the Jets. Yeah, I don't blame him, but still. Quarterbacks have their ceilings.
Yeah, and statistically, he's better than Daniel Jones. And I mean, if Daniel Jones is starting, I'm sure he feels he can find somewhere he can go to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
boys. All right, see you later, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Yep. Peace out, bro.
Now, real quick here, who is your guys? What's going to be our elite side of the ball this year, offense or defense?
It has to be offense for me.
Yeah.
It has to be offense for me. But Mullins would teach the new squad Salah's philosophy. Oh, okay. Okay. No, I got you.
Oh, you mean us? Teach us.
No, yeah, no, I get what he's saying now. Yeah. Yeah, I get what he's saying. No, man.
Hey, it's no problem anytime, big play. No problem, buddy. Anytime.
It's gonna have to be the offense, man. There's more holes, and there's more holes, and like from a competition standpoint on defense than there is on offense. The offense to me is a little more set, because you got a lot of you have a lot of young and hungry players. That their levels can be elevated alongside Jalen Hurts. Like they're in a better process of growing together than if it was Carson Wentz under center. Carson's an established, he was an established veteran. You bring rookies in, and he's trying to figure them out. Well, I mean, Jalen Hurts is in a spot where not only does he have to figure, it's like a vice versa. It's like a vice versa scenario. Jalen Hurts has to figure his guys out, and they have to figure him out. That's not to say that, the rookies with Carson, that's not to say that they didn't have to figure Carson out as a quarterback, but for for what he went through mentally and how that spilled onto the field. It's just at least we don't have to go through it anymore. So I mean, you got a quarterback in there now with a fresh mindset, and he wants to win, and he's not planning on missing rent payments, and all this awesome mentality stuff that we're a part of right now. It's just a better scenario overall, but the performance of the offense being better than defense, there is only one problem. How's the offensive line going to look throughout the season? How healthy are they going to be? That is the one determining factor on how well the offense is going to be as a unit, is the offensive line.
Yeah, and even still, I'm not even that worried about it because it's even like Wayne said. I tore my Achilles one time, came back, and I was the best. What makes you think I won't do it again?
Yeah.
That mentality right there, man. That's a dog mentality. I love it. So he's not done yet. So I'm not too worried. And it's like you said, it's just can they stay healthy? Seriously. But actually, I had a question for you. I'll think of it, but go ahead, Joey.
Now, I got to say defense here. And my reasoning is you don't necessarily know exactly what you have in Hurts, especially for this next season. Your receiver core is, yes, it's got a lot of young guys. It's got Smith, but there's inexperience. And yes, there's also an experience on the defense, but I think the defense group together, there's a bit more just experience and how do I put this? The defense, with what they've got, putting it up against the offense, I think the defense is a little bit better because your offensive line, yes, that's a solid group, but injuries, that could be a problem, especially with how some of them are aging. Like I said, your receiver core is inexperienced. You don't know what you have behind Miles, especially if we're going to go running back by committee. That's all of those guys behind him besides Kenny Gainwell are a toss-up to make the roster, I'd say. Maybe not Killings, but the rest. Tight end, if you deal Ertz, you've got Goddard, but you've got no successor to Goddard. And you really don't have a good option behind Goddard, not named Richard Rodgers. But Richard Rodgers does have his limitations. As to where on defense, you've got your defensive line locked down by guys like Cox, BG, Sweat. Hargrave, if he can stay healthy. I do have slight concern with injuries for Cox, but I think if they get him, as long as he doesn't play over 90% of snaps like he's done before a few times, I think he'll be good and rested enough to the point where he's not, that chance of injury lessens. Same with BG. Linebacker, yes, they're somewhat young, but you've got TJ, Alex Singleton, and you're bringing in Eric Wilson. And at corner, they're kind of in the same boat as receiver, but there's a bit more, I'd say, a slight edge in experience there.
Corner's by far worse than receiver. I could argue like the points you're giving for defense over offense, I could argue the same points for offense over defense. Outside of the defensive line, the rest of the positions are question marks. Outside of the offensive line, there's not many question marks at receiver because you have your potential future staple in Devontae Smith. Then it is up to the rest of the receivers to, prove their worth. First round pick in Jalen Reagor. What do we truly have in Travis Fulgham? Is he that guy that we've seen over that 4-game stretch? John Hightower has something to prove. Quez Watkins has something to prove. Arthega Whiteside, nobody really believes in right now. So, but still, all in all, that's a second round pick. Goddard is playing for that. Goddard's playing for that bag. So, yeah, that's fine there. Richard Rodgers is dependable. And then people are having Jack Stoll as the favorite, as the number 3. Okay. Richard, no. Richie likes Rodgers over Goddard. Going into a contract year, we need more than just potential. Ooh, Lord, I'm not touching that hot take. I'm not going to go on that one. I am not touching that hot take.
Come on, do it.
I am not touching that one.
Touch it just a little bit. Touch it. You know you want to. Touch it.
I am not touching that one. Okay.
I'm leaving it on the screen till you decide to.
Unless Richie wants to walk something back, we'll see. But no, man, defense has more questions to me than offense, and it's not that. I'm not going to say it's not even close, but it's very considerable. Defensive line, you're okay for the most part. The question mark on defensive line is the depth at defensive tackle. Defensive end is okay for now outside of next year. Linebackers, question mark, plain and simple. Your definitive starter is Eric Wilson. Outside of him, who do you really have? Alex Singleton, great story. Limitations. TJ Edwards, okay. Limitations.
Avery.
Davion Taylor, 3rd round pick. He was a reach. Limitations. Lack of experience. Sean Bradley, special teams experience. More special teams than defense.
Gerald Avery.
Jannard Avery's moving to linebacker. How is he going to look as a project? Joe Osman can also convert it to linebacker. That's another project.
Kerrigan can even play some linebacker.
And that's going to be based on the packages that Jonathan Gannon has set up. I'm telling you, defense is a little worse off than the offense is right now. There's not a number 2 definitive outside corner outside of Darius Slay. Are you going to trust Michael Jacquet? Are you going to trust Zach McPherson, the 4th round rookie? I don't think so. Do you want to throw them into the fire come week 1? It's not necessarily throwing them into the fire, but you got to look at how they come out of training camp. You would have to imagine that we bring in another veteran to lock down that spot for now until somebody shows up or an injury occurs. Especially if an injury occurs. Who are you going to like if we get another outside corner? Somebody has to step in. Do you like Zach McPherson? Do you like Michael Jacquet? I mean, you already seen what happened to Michael Jacquet after that Arizona game where he did what he possibly could against DeAndre Hopkins, but then you go back-to-back games, and then here he's trying to lock down Hopkins. He's trying to lock down Michael Gallup, and obviously he couldn't handle with Amari Cooper, and then you had Darius Slay in and out with ankle injuries, and then I think he was in concussion protocol at one point. Yeah, no, defense is still a little worse off than offense right now. I can't put them over the offense.
Now,
with our real quick, Jordy, with our expectations going in, if we feel that we're not going to be competing for the NFC East, because you can kind of get that vibe during training camp and stuff. Do you just sit on what we have and just draft the corner next year instead of wasting money and grabbing a veteran corner and bringing in? Because to me, if you bring in a veteran corner, that is a move that you want to win right now. I mean, would you not agree on that to a point? wouldn't you rather, if we're not going to win now, wouldn't you rather just see what we have in Zach McPherson and Jaquette, let them play all year, see if we can develop them, and just take what we can get, and then because next year we'll have our 40-50 million cap, that will be our coming out year. That'll be our hey, we're back type year. But do we just use this year as developmental stage and just kind of eat it at this point?
And the other thing I can also say here for as a defensive standpoint is that we bring up all these issues, but the biggest outlier here is that Jim Schwartz is not the defensive coordinator anymore. So there's going to be a lot of new approaches. There's going to be a lot more scenarios where players are going to be used to their strengths instead of their weaknesses. There's no sticks defense. There's you're not overbearing on the defensive line to just rush the quarterback. You're going to add disguises. Your corners are going to have safety help and this and that. But yeah, man, I can't put defense over offense for that matter. And let's see. Before he is paid a top 5 tight end salary, I think we value Goddard too much because I don't know about that. Zach Ertz was our number 1 tight end while Goddard was under him for 2 years, and Goddard still produced to just under an elite level. I think it's fair to say that he performed just under an elite level, like not a Pro Bowl caliber or not an elite tight end as a number 1, but like a dependable number 1. I think it's fair to say for Goddard. So I don't know. I'm not going to push an emphasis of putting Richard Rodgers over Dallas Goedert. I don't see it. I don't see it. That is such a hot take. You would want to put, or not want. You have to put Dallas Goedert under that pressure because he's playing for the money that he's playing for this money. You got to see what he does as the number 1, without question. So
yeah, go for it, Jody.
So I get where I can see why you'd pick offense. I think it's definitely a matter of how you see it and how you look at the roster. But you pointed out how Schwartz isn't here, and that was something I was going to bring up. Schwartz isn't here. We got to remember, he liked to play corners 5-10 yards off, give receivers cushion, and he didn't adjust his scheme to players. And I think that's something that's really going to change this year, and I think that's something we have to take into account and watch out for. But turning to what you said about Smith, he's still unproven. This whole receiver core, the only ones I'd say have proven enough to me to the point where I can say I'm confident in them going forward with them giving me more production is probably Fulgham and Ward. We haven't seen very much from a lot of the other younger guys. And I get where you're coming from on Smith. I get it. He's a Heisman winner and an AP Player of the Year. But in the end, what does college awards get you in the NFL? Nothing. So I think I want to see him prove himself before anyone starts talking about he's our future number 1. He could be a bust. We don't know. And this is something I've talked about a bit on my podcast is you can rely on improving guys, but not in a win. We can't be in a win now perspective if we're going to go into next season. I have us winning 6 or 7 games over under, and I think a lot of the reasoning I always choose around that spot is because of the inexperience in the offense. And yes, you can say defense is inexperienced, but offense is just as much. Miles is in what, his second year?
Year 3.
Year 3.
Year 3.
No, there's nobody behind him that's really productive. I'm putting aside Kerryon Johnson and Jordan Howard into their own category in this because they got to show me they can rebound off their injuries. At tight end, yes, I get it. People say Stoll could be that next backup tight end that does good, but he's a UDFA for a reason. And he's also got to prove himself. As to where on defense, some of these guys are already somewhat proven, and guys like Sweat. Singleton, yes, he does have his limitations, but look what he did last year. TJ, I think, got a reduced role a little bit last year, and he was also playing in a Jim Schwartz defense that doesn't do well with linebackers. At safety, Epps, I hope we cut Epps one of these days because I'm tired of him getting hurdled. You've got McLeod. You've got... I don't want to say Adams yet. I want to see what he can do. Same for everybody else at that spot, I'd say. I want to see what they can do here. But corner, Darius Slay is proven. And some of these guys have a bit of experience, including a guy like Craig James, though he's not someone I see as a CB2. I see him as somebody who I really think Philly could work well with a rotation of guys in and out at CB2, depending on who they face. And that's where someone like a Craig James would come in. But it all depends on scheming and how the coaches prepare for the inexperience in this offense. Because at the end of the day, this is a soft rebuild. It's about developing your players more than it is winning the division.
That cornerback spot is just it's a disaster. That corner spot is a disaster.
Wide receiver's not any better.
What's that?
Wide receiver's not any better. There's not very many proven guys there either.
They're better talent. Wide receiver has more talent than corner does. You know, experience is one thing, but talent is another. I mean, you know, it's just going to depend how it's going to depend how they're set up schematically. You know, and then if this Jonathan Gannon defense that it's rumored is going to be a 4-2-5, that's one less linebacker on the field. So in terms of the linebacker spot, like, do you trust the development of Alex Singleton to be better as a coverage linebacker? Do you trust TJ Edwards to do that? You know, I'm telling you, there's a lot more question marks on defense, and again, it also depends on how well some of these players pick up the playbook. But
now I have to ask this question though: if Singleton was really good in Swartz's system, wouldn't you imagine he's going to be a fucking dog in this one? Or was he just designed to run Swartz's system?
yeah, that's the other thing that you have to. That's the other thing that you have to put into consideration. Are they? It's you know, you have to consider scheme fits here too. But man, I don't know. I can't you know, put a finger on it to say that defense is better off than offense right now.
You got a take on that one, Jordy?
I can't do it.
Is Singleton just a Swartz system guy, or can he translate over?
I think that depends on how the coaching staff handles the situation with moving guys over. I think that really plays a big part with moving schemes. Is how are these coaches going to make it easy for players to do it and pick up a playbook? And I think with how young these coaches are, and with how energetic and just like Sirianni preaches competition, everyone preaches their own kind of thing, but at the end of the day, they're all fighting for a common goal, And at the end of the day, I think they're going to try to make it easy for players, just like they're trying to make it easy for themselves to go back into a contending kind of team. Because if you don't, you're going to struggle.
So what's your guys' realistic time frame then for the struggle to not be real anymore?
If we want to be realistic on it, I would think it would be. You can compare this scenario to 2016 in a sense. First year head coach, first year quarterback. I think Frank Reich came in at the same time as Doug Peterson did. So I mean, there's similarities there. So this could be as short as a year, or it could be as long as 2 years. It's just going to depend on how the information and the coaching is received from the players, and if they buy into dark times, like how are they going to rebound after bad losses, how competitive they look week in and week out. But yeah, I see it as a similar scenario to how we started 2016.
Now,
If it's 2015, then we're it's even worse than we thought. If it's 2015, like there's no way in hell, because our receiver core is in a better spot right now than it was in 2015 and 2016 for that matter. Well, it's close. I mean, the only real good receiver we had in 16 was Jordan Matthews. So if we might be in a better spot now with Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor as a duo there, and you have a dependable guy in Greg Ward, and then you're hoping Travis Fulgham can rebound after those 4 games last year, because that just doesn't go away with the snap of a finger. So yeah, I think we're going to be I think we're going to be in a similar situation than we were back in 2016.
Now, real quick, Jordy, on your one thing that you were saying about it had to do with the corners. It was earlier. I apologize. Go for it. I'll think of it. Just go on with your thing.
So I don't know. I can see saying yes, they could drop because of Wilson next to him, but I think that all depends on a multitude of factors, like how the team develops throughout the season, what kind of injuries they sustain, because we're a team we know we're going to get hurt at some point and lose a few of our players because, well, our strength and conditioning staff and medical staff isn't that great, I'd say. But I think that's going to depend on multiple things, and I don't think that's necessarily... It can be right and wrong at the same time. Yes, it can drop due to Wilson, but there's the possibility that it goes up alongside Wilson. But it all depends on a bunch of factors that we really can't say until it happens.
I remember what I was going to say. You were talking about Smith being a bust. I want you to look at it in this way. And this is why I feel he won't be. He's in the SEC. Most of the successful corners that are in the NFL are from the SEC. Okay? He's went up against them all. He had 120 catches last year against them all. Like, there is no reason that he can't come into the NFL and do the same exact thing, because he played these guys in college. He's going to be playing them in the NFL. I mean, the fact that it's college and NFL to him, it's still the same guys he played in college. It's just at a different level. And as they're improving, he's improving. So, all in all, in my eyes, he's already got a step ahead of them because he's already dominated them. So, the only way that he fails at this point is under his own doing, not because he can't play this game. If that makes any sense at all.
So I get it. And I don't necessarily think Smith's going to be a bust. I don't. I'm rolling in with a neutral mindset of, yeah, Smith can be great, but we have to think he can also go the other way. And one thing I hear a lot is talk about his Heisman and his AP Player of the Year. And that's another thing I've always been quick to say. That doesn't matter. He can still fail as a Heisman winner. And yes, he's the first Heisman winning receiver since, what's his name, out of Michigan. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, round 2 already.
There he is.
What's
How
up,
you
Rob?
doing, man?
Yeah.
Thank you for
What's
coming
up with
on,
y'all?
my guy.
Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
you good. Quality's
Thank
a
you
little
for
better
coming on,
today.
my guy.
Man, I'm telling you, man, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yes, sir. Had to hop in on a conversation with y'all, man.
Yeah, go for it. What's your take? How you feel?
What's the question again? I apologize.
We were talking kind of about comparing our wide receivers to the corners and the linebackers. I asked the question about what's going to be our bright spot this year, our offense or our defense, and one says offense, one says defense. So, what's your take?
I gotta go defense too, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I gotta go defense because, like the past 3 years, our defensive line been dominant. I just want to see like the schemes and the philosophies that Gannon brings. I mean, I kind of figure it's gonna be like a cover 3. I mean, basic like the Colts, Vikings, they basically covered 3 teams. I mean, and cover 3 can mask up a lot of like deficiencies anyway because I mean your cornerbacks in cover 3 are basically safeties. So it's like, I mean, it's easier to come forward than drop backwards. You get me? So if you're in a cover 3, nothing going over your head, nothing can't go over your head. It's not supposed to. I mean, if you can't play a basic cover 3, you learn that in Pop Warner. I mean, you master it in probably high school, college. You can't play a basic cover 3 in the NFL, you shouldn't be there. So, but only thing in the cover 3, it put a lot of stress on our linebackers. So we just gotta. I feel like the defense gonna be good this year, to be honest, especially with the addition of Ryan Kerrigan. Fletch gonna be back, Hargrave's back, Brandon Graham. I mean, Josh Sweatson emerged this year. So I feel like that's gonna be our defense, but I feel like our offense gonna be explosive this year too, man. So I mean, that's my
Yeah.
take on it.
Yeah, man. And I agree with you. You would figure that playing cover 3 would be simple. And hell, I would think he would have to know how to be able to shoot a free throw in the NBA, but Ben Simmons somehow still is in there. So
Right.
I mean,
yeah, that's
but
that's serious though, man. Play
yeah,
basketball your whole life and can't shoot a free throw. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, I thought that was one of the main things you had to be able to do to make it in the NBA, but I guess I was wrong. Who knew?
I mean,
Maybe I
but
could have
I've
made
seen
it.
the crazy part about Ben Simmons is I actually seen the dude like shoot. It's a confidence thing with him because he can shoot the ball. Like I seen him shoot the ball. Live games, preseason games, practice. He can shoot the ball. It's just I don't know. Like for me, I feel like it was the game 5 that killed Ben Simmons. I mean, he wasn't really shooting before then, but he lost all confidence in that game 5 once Doc Rivers took him out the game. Once they start following him, I think he just shut down after that. But man, still, you got to go out there and play. That's what you get paid for.
Yeah. No, I agree with William here, man. I do feel Devontae Smith is going to be good, and that his one big attribute is his route running, and that is what is going to make him very successful in the NFL. I mean, you can master a lot of things with route running.
Got to help out Richie there. Jamar Chase went
Not
to
just the
the
route running either.
Jamar Chase went to the Bengals, and Jalen Waddle actually went to the Dolphins. So, yeah, man, I kind of seen Cincinnati taking Jamar Chase before the draft, just because of the connection that he has with Joe Burrow. But I wanted them to take offensive line because if you're if as a quarterback, if you have no protection, who are you going to throw the ball to? It doesn't matter who's getting open. Who are you going to throw the ball to if you're going to end up being put on your back again? So, and Burrow can't afford another ACL injury, man, or it's game over. We seen what it did to Carson from 2017 to 2018. He put so much stress on his opposite leg that it just ruined his back. So yeah, he was all messed up. But no, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, I don't know if Waddle's going to be a bust,
I don't
but
know.
I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
gonna,
steep, bro. That's a very steep statement. I can't. I can't say that. I think if Waddle's a bust, it's because of Tua. And honestly,
Yeah, that's what he means. That's what he meant with the first comment. It was just the wrong receiver.
oh,
But I gotta ask you, Uncensored, because there's relevance to you personally. How do you like Rick Carlisle going back to the Pacers?
I'm all right with it, man. I'm okay with it. You know what? I was a big Reggie Miller fan back in the day, so I've had nothing but respect for the Pacers. So I'm all right with it. Good choice.
Yeah, and he's been there before. He was an assistant coach under Larry Bird in the 2000s. So I mean, yeah, it's good for him. I'm still I still don't know how to feel about the Jason Kidd hire, even though it has been endorsed by multiple people. Between Dirk and Michael Finley, and obviously Carlisle is going to say something about it because he's not the head coach of the Mavericks anymore. So he's going to endorse Jason Kidd going there. That wasn't a question.
The only thing I got to say, man, is what makes that difficult is all my wife's family is in Texas, so if I gotta go see him, I gotta go to a completely different state. That's the only part.
Yeah, I had a feeling. And even bigger news, the Trailblazers are in closing conversations or I think they made Chauncey Billups their head coach. So is that enough? Is that enough for Damian Lillard to stay in Portland? I don't know. I don't know. I like the signing, but Lillard already gave Portland an ultimatum. Either you get me another All-Star or I'm out. So I don't know how much that's going to hurt the Sixers' chances, but what I do know from my Mavs is Luka needs the same thing.
Yo, shout out to Birdman real quick. Thanks for coming in and checking it out. If anybody doesn't know who this man is, you've probably been living under a rock. But yeah, if not, go sell them up. Birdman 951. Dude brings the energy, kills it out there in the West. He represents us, so go sell them up, like and subscribe. So yeah, well, we did this, but we'll get your point of view here. Rock, who you want, man?
Say it again.
For your CB2. Sorry, I thought you could see it. My bad.
Oh, for a corner. Oh, for a corner.
What's your take on that?
On some real, I'm gonna answer that with a question. How y'all feel about Jaquette?
The
Like
potential's there.
personally, how y'all feel about Jaquette? Yeah, as a potential number two, he has the size. I mean, like I said, if we run in the cover three, maybe he'll be a better corner in the cover three. Man, I feel like on some real, um, I feel like Jim Schwartz messed a lot of these guys up. The system he was running, because even Darius Slay looked kind of bad in his system. So maybe a fresh start, a fresh coach, new minds in there. Maybe we could get Jaquette to play in a great number two position. You get me? He the only one really we got right now with size. So I I mean I want y'all to reflect on that a little bit. Like just tell me how y'all feel about Jaquette.
I think both Michael Jaquette and Zach McPherson have the size to play the outside. I seen a statistic I heard a statistic on the Inside the Birds platform the other day when they talked about Zach McPherson, and they talked about I think it was like 710 coverage snaps that he played, and out of those 710, he only gave up 3 passing touchdowns. Well, those numbers kind of sound skewed to me a little bit. Or I had to ask, and I dropped it in the comments, and I had to ask myself, well, out of those 710 coverage snaps, how many of those snaps were the guy that Zach was covering was targeted? I think that would be a better measuring stick to see that how good was Zach McPherson on the field as a corner. But when we talk about Michael Jaquette, I think both of them have similar ingredients to be a decent outside corner. I think it's going to depend on I guess the terms of when we seen Jim Schwartz's scheme on defense, there was a priority of as an outside corner that you had to have the speed to keep up with the receiver. And a lot of our corners didn't have that, or some of them did, and their coverage was terrible, Ronald Darby. But and obviously we knew Jalen Mills couldn't play the outside because he wasn't fast enough, but his coverage was okay when him and Darby didn't bite on double moves. So I would have to imagine that there's going to be a different type of emphasis for that matter for the outside. But I don't think Jaquette and McPherson are the fastest guys in the world, and you would have to hope that Jonathan Gannon can work with them and kind of bring their strengths to light instead of their weaknesses. But to put Jaquette against like some of the top receivers in the league last year when he was thrown into the fire, it's good experience for what it's worth, because you're getting put at the top of the totem pole there for like I said, for what it's worth, for better or for worse. It puts him in a decent situation. Like there's something to build off of. But I still feel that you would want an extra veteran in them in the room to help carry them along with it, without it being Darius Slay by himself.
I understand. Yep. I kind of feel the same way, but I feel like Jaquette get a bad rep though because of that one Dallas game where he had like basically Jim Schwartz just left him on the island the whole game. It's like he's still a rookie. He don't really have a lot of experience. You leave him on the island the whole game. You see him score 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. You keep him out there on the island. That's not really Jaquette's fault. Damn,
and this is without safety help too.
Yeah, he had no safety help over the top. Yeah, no safety help over the top. The whole game.
Well, I look at it, if you're not going to bring in a CB2, that's fine, whatever. It's not like you listen to us anyway, but I feel you can mask a weak spot in your defense. And if CB2 is your weak spot, even if people know that's your weak spot, it is able to have a Band-Aid put over it, so to speak. like for instance, if you play press coverage and it's zone, if you can teach whether it's Jaquette or McPherson or Maddox or whoever the hell they put out there, if you can teach them just how to nudge them for a minute off of the line, just for a couple seconds, get them to stutter, get them to the point where they're just thrown off just for a minute. That gives our line time to get to that quarterback, because if he's not open, he's not going to throw the ball. And that way, and I believe Jaquette has enough experience and is smart enough to figure that out. But like I said, he doesn't need to do much. As long as Slay can lock down his side of the field, if Jaquette can just figure out a way to make his man not effective the first few seconds of the play, that will make all the difference in the world.
I agree with you.
Because they still have to stop our front five. And good luck trying to do that. So it's all about that quick hesitation. If he can make that wide receiver, whoever he's covering, hesitate, the rest should just take care of itself.
I agree.
So I get it.
I agree.
How about you?
Because go ahead.
Yeah, I agree too. I there's really not much to say that hasn't already been said.
Well, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. It is 12:30 in the morning here, and I'm gonna go to bed. I think I got work tomorrow. So, but no, I appreciate y'all coming on and hanging out with me and talking some sports here. It's always a fun time. Go around real quick and just let people know where they can find you.
Nah, I'll go first. Y'all can find me on Instagram, man. One Trey Rock 215 on YouTube. One Trey Rock. You know what I'm saying? Come follow my channel, man. I'll do some fun stuff, man. I'll talk a little trash on my jank. I mean, we come out, y'all come have some fun, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. One Trey Rock.
Yeah, man. Definitely want to get you on sometime, do a collab. So I'll be getting up with you here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. Whenever you're
No
ready,
problem.
I'm ready.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, there he is. I found him. There we go.
Huh?
No, I found his channel. I got him right now. I found his channel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got him. Now, you already know what the deal about me, man. Lindy end zone for the touchdown, taking a lead for the Eagles one video at a time and dropping buckets for Dallas Mavericks. And my main gig is, if you like the diversity of fandom that I bring to the table. I know Eagles fan liking the Dallas team, one of the weirdest things in the world. I know, but I love my Mavs. So if you like the content, let me know. I'll have a party. Can't even talk, but love to have you a part of the End Zone fam. The easiest thing you can do is drop a subscribe on there, and it's a long shot, but once I hit 1,000 subs, I may consider dropping one of those as a thank you to everybody and put y'all in the contest to win a piece of my collection. So there y'all go.
You can find me at Jordy Fighter. I have my, as I call it, big three of podcasts from The Common Flock, The Golden Dome, and Fighter from 3. I cover Philly, Notre Dame, and the Boston Celtics between videos and the podcasts. I will sometimes do call-ins or discussion streams, but you can find me over there. And hey, I will gladly, if anyone wants to collab, if anyone wants to just come over and discuss in some streams or podcasts, let me know.
Speaking of which, Jordy,
I'm gonna hold you to
it. Jordy, speaking of which, I gotta talk to you about your new head coach of the Celtics, who you grabbed from the Brooklyn Nets. I gotta talk to you about that. I gotta know how you're feeling about that hire.
Now, I'm cautious, to say the least, because we have an
It's
up
good,
and
though. It's
we
good
have
though
a
because he worked really well with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum on that one USA team. So you got something to build off of there.
That's facts. That's facts.
yeah, and I mean Boston's been up and down over the years with coaches, but like you said, there's that connection there, and it's part of it's going to depend on how Brad Stevens does as a GM. And his first move was trading away Kemba Walker.
One more thing before we go, man. I'm putting my stamp on this too.
Yes, sir.
Devontae Smith will be the most productive receiver out of this draft class. I'm putting my stamp on that. I got him catching over 80,
Oh, I back
80
you on that.
passes this year. Over 80 passes this year, man.
I back you on that. You
The
should.
Jamar Chases,
Definitely.
the even the tight end. What's the tight end name that went to Atlanta? Can't remember his name.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts. He gonna catch more passes than Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and whoever else, Bateman, all of those guys. He's gonna be the most productive receiver out of this draft class. When you look down the line in 10 years, it's gonna be stamped. So I'm putting my stamp on it right now, even though you're a rookie.
I can feel that. I feel that. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in and everybody joining me in here and talking Eagles football. Excuse me. Just want to thank everybody in the chat for joining us tonight. Thank you for keeping it real. Thank you for all the questions and talking with us. I enjoy everything. I enjoy all the support. 2 weeks, 56 subscribers. Can't do it without you guys. I appreciate everything you do. And don't forget, at 100 subscribers, giving away a free Jalen Hurts jersey. So, let's get to 100 here so I can get that out of my closet. It's tempting
Let's
every day.
go.
So,
Yo, get that man to 100, man. Get that man to 100, man.
yeah. Sorry. Wish I could have more energy for y'all, but I'm tired. So, but yeah, once again, subscribe to all my guys here. They bring the pain, they put in the time and do all the work. And, Lindy, been through a lot already, man. Jordy, you too. Brock, just meeting you, man. But glad we met. Hopefully we can work together more. But yeah, subscribe to them all. And everyone, have a good night. Be safe and fly, Eagles, fly.
All right, y'all.
All right, later.